Hey guys, today I'm going to be bringing you another zombie deck. This zombie deck is going to be a little less of pure zombies, more of a zombie recruiter deck. I'm not going to say it's better than the last build I posted. I'm not going to say it's worse. I'm not going to say it's anything special. It's one of those decks that I put a lot of cards together. I felt like they meshed well and I just went with it. So we're going to start out with the traps. I run one Ring of Destruction, one Mirror Force, one Torrential Tribute, one Call of the Haunted, one Dust Tornado, and 3 Trap Dust Shoot. So that's it for the traps. The idea behind the 3 Trap Dust Shoot is going to be that I do run multiple recruiters in here, and you'll see once I get there. But I'm not afraid of battle. In fact, obviously recruiters, I want my monsters to be attacked. That's how this deck really perseveres. This is going to be to hit those Chaos monsters and things like Azure Priest, so they don't run through my entire recruiter lineup in one attack. Is hit them before they ever hit the field. So I think Trap Dust Shoot in multiples, 2 to 3, it's always going to be extremely important in zombies, especially because zombies do have a very tough time dealing with the Blackluster Soldier, Chaos Stalkers type monsters. The only thing I'd say is maybe I'm a little weak to like Kaiku, but honestly this deck doesn't... I'm not too bothered if too much of my stuff's removed from play. I don't think it really impacts me that much if it's removed from the graveyard. This zombie deck isn't very much... Goat Zombies isn't very reminiscent of like 2007 Zombie Master type zombies, I guess is what I'm saying it. For spells, I run 1 Book of Life, 1 Graceful Charity, 1 Delinquent Duo, 1 Pot of Greed, 1 Snatch Steal, Preemie, MST, Heavy Storm, 2 Creature Swap, 2 Scapegoat, and 3 Book of Moon. I think 3 Book of Moon is pretty necessary to help deal with that Thousand Eyes Restrict. Otherwise, that card in general is just a problem to deal with. As well as to save a lot of my stuff from things like Tribe Infecting Virus, Lightning Vortex, things of that nature that honestly, they really crush me. But mostly because outside of, well, let's see, 2 cards, and then 2 monsters and Ring of Destruction, I really don't have an out to Thousand Eyes Restrict. So I think it's important to have Triple Book of Moon. The odd card out here is going to be the Scapegoats. This card I think could easily be 2 Sakuretsu Armor, it could be another Dust Tornado, it could be 2 Solemn Judgments and then drop the Dust Tornado for a 3rd Solemn. It could really be a multitude of things. I think for just walling purposes, it's always good to have that type of card. It's never bad just to be a one of and go, or just a couple of for no other reason other than to wall. Creature Swap easily could drop this down to 1. I do run 2 because I run a multitude of recruiters. I think I run 7 total monsters that I wouldn't mind creature swapping. Well, actually 8 to include Serpent, plus to include the goats. So 2 creature swap works pretty well in here. 1 would be better for consistency, but 2 is better for control, I guess. And I guess Snatch Steal, probably another card that could be dropped for something more effective. It's always a good card, but I never really have anything that I can do with the monsters that I take. I run 2 Ryukoki for tributes. Past that, there's nothing I can do with them. And the hope is I don't draw Ryukoki. Obviously, I can't control that. But I don't run Tsukiyomi. I guess I could Book of Moon it face down to keep the monster when I snatch it, but I'm losing 2 cards for 1. It would have to be a pretty good monster for that to even out. So that could easily be dropped for something else. Moving on to the monsters, I run 1 Breaker, 1 Tribe, 1 Serpent, 1 Exiled Force, 1 Giant Rat, 1 Newdoria, 1 Sangan, 2 Mystic Tomato, 1 Deslakuta, 2 Spirit Reaper, 2 Ryukoki, and 3 Pyramid Turtle. So now how do I put this? I guess the idea in this is going to be the skill trees that get offered by running triple Pyramid Turtle, double Mystic Tomato, and Giant Rat. Giant Rat can search out Pyramid Turtles, can search out Deslakuta, it can search out Exiled Force, and that's it. That's a big enough toolbox for me to warrant running one of these. Exiled Force alone is just a phenomenal monster. I think Pyramid Turtle and Giant Rat also being able to search this out is pretty good. So the idea being, if they attack Giant Rat, for example, I go special summon this. They end my turn. I'm still at 6 cards. Flip down with its effect, flip it back up. It's an instant +1. Very few times do recruiters actually exist in really any format that when they just get summoned, create an instant +1 off of their summon. I think Deslacuta's actually a really underutilized card for that purpose alone. If it goes turn 1 and I just set it and they don't attack my turn, I flip it and I get it back down, I get that +1. It's already been better than Dekoichi, for example, because I'm getting that +1, but now I have the opportunity to go get +2 and keep going if they don't have something that can be so offensive. So I think the idea of being extremely searchable and having that really infinite advantage possibility is a reason that Deslocuta should probably be ran more often in GOAT zombie decks. I'm running 2 Spirit Reapers, which are searchable via Pyramid Turtle and Mystic Tomato. I think Spirit Reaper is just one of the best cards in GOAT format. Every time it attacks, you're always guaranteed 1 card. It forces premature Book of Moons, it forces premature Scapegoats when maybe they don't have an immediate follow-up, and then you can just easily get rid of those goats next turn depending on like game state, what else you have on the field. It protects itself from attacks, which obviously is a huge reason everyone runs Spirit Reaper. But every time you attack with this card, you're guaranteed to be like stealing at least 1 card from your opponent, and that's why there's a huge plus. Honestly, another way, and I've seen it on GOATformat.com, I think it was, that triple Spirit Reaper, triple Mystic Tomato, no other monsters. I've tried that build. I've liked that build. I've enjoyed it. I had some success with that. That's something that I might upload later on. But Spirit Reaper, just in general, is very good. And then all these like cards basically creating, was that a Venn diagram or something like that? Where it's like 3 circles, being able to combine like all these searchable monsters in the middle is absolutely phenomenal. And on top of that, also being able to search out Nidorina and Sangan. Nidorina just being like a slow version of Exile Force, or I can just set it, they attack into it, pop something, it's always good. Sangan just being typical Sangan. Ryukoki is a card that you hate drawing because to summon it, once you draw it, you gain no advantage, you get nothing for it. It's a lost card, but it happens sometimes. I like it more than Vampire Lord because of the pressure it creates, plus it is an out to Blackluster Soldier, ties with Monarchs, gets over Gravekeeper Spies without Necro Valley. Really it's just a powerful card. No other reason. Tribe is similar to Exiled Force, that I run it because just a lack of power. This deck doesn't have the Chaos Sorcerers, the Thousand Eyes Restrict, the infinite warrior lineups, the Blackluster Soldier, anything like that to really just deal with stuff. So I think something like Tribe Infecting Virus it's needed for this deck. Serpent, just because it's Serpent that honestly, outside of Tribe and Graceful Charity, can be dropped. There's no reason to really have it. Serpent, I think if you're not playing Metamorphosis, there's no true reason to have it. Graceful Charity, the more I play, the worse it gets. It's always a great card, don't get me wrong. But in comparison to like Delinquent Duo and Pot of Greed that are just always... Delinquent Duo probably like 80% of the time is an amazing card. Pot of Greed 100% of the time is a good card. Graceful Charity is probably like 70% of the time. When you only have like 1 Graceful Charity and 1 other card to hand, that other card's really good, but you're like, I got to do something. How often could that Graceful Charity be like that 2nd or 3rd Sakuretsu Armor, or that 3rd Book of Moon, or that monster that would have just been better, but now you have to Graceful Charity and hope that your luck is good enough to draw into something that replaces itself for Graceful Charity. I have found myself in a lot of situations recently where if I'm not running Serpent, Air Knight, things like that, Jinzo, whatever it might be, that Graceful Charity, I'd rather have the card that Graceful Charity would have been. And then my final card is going to be Breaker. I don't know. I don't really... The more I play, the less I like Breaker. I don't like losing a summon for Breaker. This deck doesn't have any like follow-up plays. I can go Breaker, pop a back row, and then Call the Haunted, Premature Burial, Book of Life, but outside of that, there's really no reason for Breaker. I think, honestly, Breaker should be something that can special summon another monster, maybe like another Tomato, like a 2nd Book of Life, something to increase explosiveness. But Breaker itself, just by itself, because you only get one summon. This deck has too many normal summons as it is, I think, to really keep up. It doesn't really shine. Breaker shines when you can go summon, destroy their one back row that they probably have set, or eat up Book of Moons and Ring of Destructions that allow you to go summon those Chaos Monsters, activate Dimensional Fusion, activate Return from a Different Dimension, or whatever it might be. Breaker's good for clearing out the back rows and having that body. Otherwise, I think you're just better off running like a Dust Tornado in its place. I'd rather give my summon to something like Pyramid Turtle, Mystic Tomato, Giant Rat, like whatever it might be, over summoning Breaker. Not to say that Breaker's bad, because sometimes you do want it. Sometimes you'll face down those burn, stall decks, whoever it might be. So I think Breaker is always a good side. It should always at least be sided. Same thing with like Nobleman. I'm on that same track with Nobleman, but Breaker should always be the side card before something like Mobius. You should always have one Breaker before you go for like triple Mobius, if that makes sense. But that is my zombie deck. A little bit more theory of GOAT format rather than just the deck itself. But like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day. Bye.